bro. I was like, what the fuck? If you guys don't know, we were testing a game show thing earlier. So I had a fake YouTube channel as my stream key. And so I went live and I was streaming to that thing, and chat, it was just pre-chat. They were not responding to what I was saying at all. I was like, hey, what's up, Craig? And I was like talking to people out, and I was pulling their thing on screen, and nobody was they were not saying anything. And I was like, wait, what the fuck, dude? What the hell? And then I went offline, logged in with my email, and it went live on a different channel. So I'm finally live on the actual typical chat interaction. True. Entire month of January? No, that was mostly about Big A. I'm still going to stream a little bit. You know, if you don't stream for all month, you forget how to stream, I swear to God. No, I'm still going to stream. When I'm not every hour of every day filled. I have never worked out this much in a 5-day period in my whole life. I'm getting fucking not swole, not really. Actually, I don't think I've made any progress, but I do feel sore. I haven't made any progress because I'm not lifting that heavy because I'm fucking fat and out of shape. But I am sore. What's the workout plan? You ever heard of strong lifts? I'm going back to that. I'm doing strong lifts, running, and basketball. That's my fucking. You have an entire year slowdown, dude. I'm trying to make real progress, bro. Did you use the break to play Hitman, Freelancer, Hardcore, Speedrun, 2 Snipers strat? This guy knows his jokes. Can we get a round of applause for Ray Wah for this hilarious reference to the 2 Snipers joke? It's an oldie but a goodie, dude. It still hits. It never got old. I like your corduroy shirt. Thank you. Appreciate that. I've been doing basketball last year. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I was getting worse. By the end of last year, I was getting fatter and slower. I'm just being real, dude. We were playing basketball, and I was like getting gassed after a game and a half. I was like getting worse. And so I have to like actually, I gotta, what happened to your coach? I only went to that coach one time, bro. I was Luka Doncicing. There's no other way to put it. I was Luka Doncicing. That's the great way to put it because we're similar in basketball skill. So you can kind of get it. You're like the black LeBron. Thank you. You know, I didn't want to be the one to say it. I do feel like you're correct, but I feel like it would be inappropriate for me to say. I do feel like I'm sort of like the black LeBron. Swole Atrioc this year, I'm not going to say that because I think saying you're going to get swole in a year is fucking stupid. I think there's no shot that I look radically different at the end of the year. But if I have lost a good amount of weight and I feel way more energetic, then I'll feel like it's real progress. I don't think it's going to be like, I don't think I'm going to be shredded. I think that's an unreal. But I took before pictures, actually. I did. I took before pictures. I also showed my belly on stream in that Big A clip. And then all the chat spammed, damn. You need pretty thick skin to be a streamer, let me tell you that. You need to be a pretty thick skin. Okay? Kind of a vulnerable moment. And so, hardest job in the world. And so, yeah, people are saying, look at that tum. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on, I guess. Lud was heckling me today, though. I was at the Mogul gym. They have a gym there at the warehouse. And Lud's on the phone flaking on a stream with Agent. And at the same time saying I'm lifting baby weights. Bro, I'm just starting. I started over. I'm building up. Motherfucker, dude. I swear to God. Who needs enemies when you have friends like this? Lud hates to see homie grow. Exactly, dude. Big A, you have to ego lift? What is ego lifting? Just define it for me. I feel like I know what you're saying, but what are you saying with ego lifting? What is that 80s ass outfit? Is this 80s? I feel like corduroy's like 70s. This is just another gift, all right? I got gifted clothes and I'm wearing them. And I like it. All right? So fuck y'all, all y'all. Sacrifice form so you can lift big numbers. So you think on day 5 of a year-long challenge, I should start saying fuck it to form and just trying to flex so people around me don't think I'm weak. Just blow my back out. Pause. Destroy my, put all the weight on my neck and kind of extend it. That's a good idea. No. This is all very interesting. I appreciate your guys' sincere advice. I think what I'm trying to do is start light, get the form right, and go up by 5 pounds every time. That's the fucking plan, Stan. A lot of quick jerking motions. Lud's a crab in the bucket. Low key, high key. He's a crab in the bucket. You know who's been supporting me? Aiden. By the way, little bit cool news. Aiden was able to use this. I'm not kidding. His Mario Kart connections, which sounds so stupid, but there's like a dark web of Mario Kart speedrunning connections that travels all over the world. And he was able to use his Mario Kart connections to get like 3 separate interviews with people in Venezuela, including someone who I believe is part of the Maduro government. So, isn't that fucking crazy? That's the power of fucking Mario Kart, dude. That person was Zoran Mamdani. A double agent that Aiden uncovered. Oh, he's about to break Maduro out of jail. Anyway, so that's exciting. That's cool. That's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty sick. The working out's been pretty good. Although I'm already sore. My fucking beat to shit body, dude. Just playing basketball and running. My legs hurt all the time now. My sleep score's pretty good. I have not done the dentist yet. I repeat, no dentist has yet been booked. Ari told me, since I'm doing this January break, that I should get a deviated septum surgery because it takes a week to recover. And if I don't do it now, I'll literally never do it. So I'm thinking about doing that. So I can have a fucking deep breath out of my nose. I think I'll do that. And then I'll get a septum piercing. I think I'll get a septum piercing and I'll get my ears gauged out so I can look like more of a political commentator. You know, I feel like I want people to know that they can take it seriously. How would that affect us? I think it would just improve the quality of the stream. Big A, for the New Year's, I decided to be like you and get on the Fin and Min. Thanks for the inspiration to avoid going bald like you. You are simultaneously accusing me of avoiding baldness by taking Fin and Min. You're accusing me of being bald. You have done both directions, neither of which are true. There's nothing wrong with using Fin and Min. I just haven't started doing it yet, though I will. That is also something I want to plan to do. But you have to like talk to an expert or something, which I got to figure fucking out. Go to Turkey, bro. First of all, I've asked around, brother. It's Korea now. Okay. Korea mogs Turkey when it comes to this shit. Okay. That's the first thing. Secondly, I don't want to pay for Korea. So I'm going to go to North Korea where they have the same things, but at affordable communist prices. All right. So I'm going to go to North Korea. I'm going to cross the DMZ. I'm going to come back with the Kim Jong-un hairline. Thick, strong. And then we're good. It'll be awesome. I'll be fucking set. Atrioc, you play old school RuneScape? Damn right I do. People in chat can vouch. I just played it on stream recently, and that's a fact, and they can confirm it. recently. Within the past month, I played old school RuneScape on stream. It was a fucking great stream. People loved it. People were talking about it. People had a lot of thoughts about it, honestly. Love the content, big dog. Venezuela vid doing numbers. Dude, you don't want it to do numbers. It's like the Green Goblin mask, bro. Whenever you take a break from content and then the first piece of content you do is a 1 out of 10, 500K in a day, it's like, come back. Make a couple more clips. Maybe make a quick thought. I mean, talk about Iranian protests. No, bro. I'm trying to fucking, it's a true break. It's actually working. I'm sleeping better. I'm eating better. I'm fucking, it's good. I've been eating so good. I went grocery shopping with Ari. She made a fucking tasty soup. Think about that. Big A, do you know about creatine? It's the most scientifically studied supplement and would seriously help with soreness recovery. Plus, it'll give you some gains. I don't know shit about creatine. What I've been doing is tren. Just like anabolic steroids, tren. That's what I've been doing because I want to get gains quickly. Gear. So I don't know. Like, is that similar? Like, where does creatine fall into that? Okay, good. That'll work. No, honestly, I don't know shit about it. If there's a, like, what's the idea? Should I be doing creatine? Doing creatine? I don't know shit. It's not my area of expertise, bro. Let me see. How much creatine? How much creatine should I take? I just feel like, here's what I've heard. Every time people want to start working out, I've heard the worst thing they do is give a shit about supplements. They start worrying about like what gear, what program, what supplements, and it's like, bro, just lift something heavy and run. Like, get a routine. It's like 90% of the battle. And so I feel like I don't want to get off on the track of like trying to count my fucking creatine supplement or whatever. Eating right is a lot. I've been eating great. I've been eating great. You know what I did? This is like the most embarrassing thing to tell you, but it's the truth. I'm a little snack gremlin. I'm a snack savant. I can't stop it when there's like a little bag of snacks, a little treat, a little bit of sour candy, a little bit of fruit, a little bit of whatever. So I took it all and I threw it out. I took a garbage bag. I took all the snacks from around the house, anywhere, toss it out. I got rid of it. And I'm sorry. It is like food waste. And I know some of you would have eaten them, but I had to get it out. I had to get rid of it. And now I don't, there's nothing to do. And I get hungry. You know what I have? I have like 4 bags of carrot sticks in the fridge. And I wake up. I don't wake up. I sit up. I'm like restless. I walk. I look around for everything. I find the carrot sticks. I eat them. I munch. I walk away. And then like 5 minutes later, I come back. I'm looking around. There's nothing. I get the carrot sticks. It's like I'm weaning myself off of fucking snacks. So I'm doing it, bro. I'm doing it. It's making a difference. Atrioc, I'm in the middle of watching Marty Supreme, but when my streamer goes live, I tune in. Bro, the fucking death of attention span. The 40 people behind you in the theater are pissed off because you're watching me live in the middle of a movie you can't even. That's sad. That's the downfall. Out loud, no headphones. Amen, brother. Let everybody else listen in. We're having this banter is good, bro. Just crank up the volume. You can watch both. People scientifically prefer little screen, big screen. And the theater's the biggest screen of all. Bring out the JBL. Are you chugging protein powder? No, I'm not doing protein powder. Still only counts as 1 view for you, though. I've got to deal with AMC theaters. If you're doing it at AMC, we're fine. Where if anybody shows my thing in theaters, they count all the people, and then I get a paycheck from AMC. Remember to eat your eggs. I had eggs this morning. You should really do protein shakes, though. Everybody's got their ideas, bro. Everybody's got their ideas. Here's what we should do. First, I need to stick to what I'm doing. And I need to measure my weight at the end of the month and see if there's any change at all. And then we'll know if there's any, if I need to make more tweaks. Stretch a lot is my advice. Dude, that's the worst part. Can we admit, can anybody else admit that stretching is fucking boring? It's boring. It's a snoozer. My God, dude. It makes me want to fall asleep. Oh, I hate stretching, dude. I hate it. I don't want to do it. It feels so good though. Does it? Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't feel that good. It doesn't feel that good. Got to get the music going. I do like the music. Please don't stop the music. I just watch TikToks of people stretching, and that counts. Scientifically, I think it does. I think you're onto something. You got to keep the stretch for 30 seconds. I got bored, as I told you. I got bored. Key to stretching without boredom. Rack a bet on Kalshi on Australian women's tennis. So, like, every time you stretch, you do one quick Kalshi bet, and then you hold it until you either win or lose. That's kind of fire. That's kind of fire. Stretching is like gambling. It only feels good when you're really good at it. First of all, I don't know if you know anything about the science of gambling. It feels good when you aren't good at it. That's how they get everybody addicted. Do you think only the super good gamblers get addicted? Everyone else is like, nah. Plank until the U.S. invades Venezuela. The plank would be done then. Would you be the new president in Venezuela? They asked me, but I said, January break. I'm sorry. I have to give it to someone else. They said, we need a white boy who knows a little Latino. And they said, Big A's, they're just the man for the job. He's been learning on Babbel. 60-second video on creatine from a Canadian ex-pro bodybuilder and the face of science.
How much extra money?
This guy's the face of science-based lifting. Okay, be real. Look at this clip and tell me that you even see a difference.
How much extra?
Like, this is my physique. This guy's, like, this is already what I'm rocking. I don't even see any major difference. Let me get the chat back here so you guys can all agree with me. Like, I literally think, if anything, I'm not going to say, but he's like a little bit smaller than me. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a little bit like, it's like mostly my shoulders where I'm kind of mogging him. Plus, he's Canadian.
Extra muscle would you build if you took creatine every day for a year straight? 1 extra pound, 2 extra pounds, 10 extra pounds? Well, the best science seems to say that you'd probably gain something around 2 to 3 extra pounds or 1 to 1.5 extra kilos of lean mass. And even though some of that will be water weight, any water you hold from creatine will be inside the muscle where you want it. So that's not a bad thing. Creatine can also help you build muscle about 1/3 faster. So if it would have taken you 5 months to add 5 pounds of muscle before, creatine could help you do it in 3.5 months instead. Now, there are 2 ways you can.
Is he saying it's a quick shortcut to easy success? I heard nothing else, but this is a quick shortcut to easy success. I don't need to put in the work. In fact, why don't I cut back on the workouts and up the creatine? Instead of taking 5 mg, I'll just take 15 and I'll work out less. Did I just solve working out? I feel like
You can take it. You can do a 1-week loading phase of 20 grams per day, followed by a maintenance phase of 5 grams per day, or you can just go straight to maintenance, skipping the loading phase. Loading will saturate your muscles faster, but both will get you to the same place over the long term. Simple creatine monohydrate is the most effective form, and it doesn't matter when you take it, although a few studies have suggested that post-workout timing may have a slight edge. You don't need to cycle off creatine, and there's decades of research showing no adverse effects. Around 1 in 4 will be non-responders, but for everyone else, enjoy the extra gains.
Dude, what if I'm a non-responder? Oh, that would suck ass. What if I'm a non-respond? 1 in 4, that's not even great odds. Let me do a 4-sided dice right now. If it's a 4, I'm not gonna, it's not gonna work on me. Okay, let's roll. Roll. This is not fair. I feel like it's stacked against me. God, the world is stacked against me, dude. You must work out 10 times hard, 10 times harder. Hey, Big A, I just got laid off, so I have more time to tune into streams in the new year. Let's go 2026. I like that you're looking on the positive side of life here. One more Scottish game dev. I appreciate the W. I won't be streaming a lot in January, but if it's still going on in February, I will fill the hours for you. Laid off means unemployment, though, right? That's kind of pog. Instead of just quitting. That's kind of pog. Little money, little time. Weren't you taking a break? I am taking a break. Sloppy poop. Sloppy pop, I'm sorry. You're a first-time chatter. Why you jumping here asking if I'm taking a break? I'm taking a break on clips, bro. I'm just doing a couple streams every now and then to keep the fucking stream. You literally forget how to stream if you don't stream every now and then. You gotta fucking, all right? Now, I do, I am gonna do this. I had this idea today when I was working out. But you guys have to promise to all be super kind to me. I want to set up my mobile camera stream, my chili stream, in the gym at Mogul. And you guys can watch me try to do terrible workouts. Okay? My beginner, low weight workouts. And then we'll just have some bants and you guys will make fun of me. It'll be great. It'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time. I think I'm excited for it. And then I'll be taking steroids on stream, of course. We can watch how you coach Jeff Nippard. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did coach him, bro. Like, first of all, look at his sitting form. It's bad. He's not constantly like sitting with his back off the back of the chair, hunched forward, not using the armrests. Do you understand? He's making huge mistakes. Needs more hunch, bro. He's got way less hair. Well, yeah, I mean, and he's not like being nice to the viewers by covering up his hair with a hat. If you get a lifter like Nipper, someone to come as an interview on a pod about the culture in Gen Z. What is this idea? Just get somebody swole to talk about the Gen Z culture on the Lemonade Stand podcast. This is some brain rot shit, bro. That's not a plan. We're doing Lemonade Stand returns on the 7th, I guess. We're recording tomorrow, though, and we're doing predictions 2026. Now, I'm probably going to do my own separate predictions video for the main channel. Seems likely. But I'm going to have some special stuff for the Lemonade Stand. I think it's fun. I wonder if you guys have any ideas of your own, any crazy predicciones. I kind of need to bring some extras because I have to split them between two contents. What are you doing for Patriot Day tomorrow? Well, the war's been won, all right? January 6th, the mission of January 6th has been complete. Thanks to our Lord and Savior Squeaks, we were able to get Trump into the White House. God bless him. Mission accomplished. So now we have to go to other countries' White Houses, equivalent, and change some things. Just a couple more major wars would be sick. Who do you think wins the World Cup? Dude, honestly, I think the winner of the World Cup is us, the viewers, for getting to watch some great high-level football. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? I think when the great game brings people together from different countries all around the world, I think that's the real win, especially in these tumultuous times. Brave. I honestly, I think the Los Angeles Lakers will switch from basketball to football and dominate. I think Luka will be a two-way player on the court. I think on the pitch. I think LeBron is going to prove that he is actually an incredible goalie. And I think that's going to make a big difference. Luka wouldn't survive in football with that belly of his. I can't. What are you guys fat shaming Luka for? Because you know what it is? Wait. This is you aiming at Luka. This shield is his fame and success and millions of dollars. And it bounces off onto me. Okay? So you're shooting at Luka Doncic, calling him how fat he is. All right? And I'm the one getting hit. I'm the crossfire. Bald jokes too? Well, I'm just not bald, so it doesn't even affect me. Dirt Grips, thank you for the 19 months. Juicy Chewy, thank you for the 31. I'm Kronos, thank you for the tier 1. Jerry C, thank you for the 25. Danger Diener, thank you for the 34. God damn it, thank you, Danger Diener. Blooper 47, thank you for the 7. Bean 4 for the 25. Paul Evata, thank you for the 35. Ethan A3, thank you for the 58. Pixel Dimensions, thank you for the 28. Any big plans to celebrate tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Oh, January 6th. Yeah, like I said, I think I'll probably just crack open a cold one and invade like a local government building. I'm not going to go all the way to DC, but I'll go to the California government building or the courthouse or something, public library, and I'll break a window. I'll say, you know what I'm saying? I'll go to Newsom's house. I'll shit on a desk. I'll do like the classics. It's more like a celebration at this point than like a real. Can you stop by the BLS and make sure they're still alive? So if you guys don't know, this is probably something for a clip eventually, but the BLS is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They're the ones that do the job numbers, the unemployment numbers, the inflation numbers. Okay. I have now someone who works there who's a Atrioc viewer. I now have an employee there, inside information, and they have told me point blank that it is one of the most dysfunctional places on earth right now, that nobody responds to their surveys. They're basically flying blind on everything. They have to use these these fucking outdated statistical models that clearly no longer apply. It's just so funny to hear that from an employee. And by the way, I got proof because I was like, listen, I have to be sure. And so I'm not any further than this. I got proof. I got proof, bro. So, I'll be at the Fed in June, bro. DM's always open. If you send me a DM and you have proof, you can delete the proof after I confirm. I'm always interested. I've had a couple insiders reach out. It's pretty good, pretty interesting. Atrioc, I'm in Delta Force. That's not. I feel like most of my chatters are in Delta Force. You know what I'm saying? I just attract a Delta Force type audience. That's very oorah, very American, very swole, a lot of Delta Forces in here. I was in Delta Force before they went woke. Did Delta Force go woke? Is that? We watch your stream in the heli. When are we going to have Sigma Force? That's the question. When is America going to get Sigma Force? Where we invade countries, but we just kind of stand outside the system. So we don't do anything. Or we kind of observe. We watch and we observe. And we kind of scoff at the silly games they play. We kind of mog them from afar. What is Sigma Force? If you have to ask, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I'm unemployed, so I'll keep you up to date with what happens between the hours of 9 and 5. All my unemployed chatters rise up. You guys are you're on observation duty during 9 to 5. That's the area where everyone else is busy and you have a complete insight. You have a noticer's mind. You can monitor the situation. Okay? It's a very powerful task force. A real hero. Like you can be sitting on a couch eating cereal, sort of monitoring everything. And that's actually huge. And now you do kind of have a job in a way. Sir, yes, sir. We will hold the line. Do we get a badge? You've already got one, Holy Pangolin. It's a clown. Hey, big guy. I recently got a job working with autistic kids. My first ever wish me luck. I'm finally leaving unemployment. Oh, you're a streamer? I couldn't resist. Congratulations on your real job. Congratulations on your real job. I could not resist. I could not resist. Ew. Congratulations about that. That's awesome. That's cool. That is cool. Big A, how do I become a paid chatter? The 1% federal salary increase ain't cutting it. In a way, all chatters are paid with knowledge. So, and that's the greatest wealth of all. I wouldn't, Robbo, thank you for the prime. Do you still play MTG? Your video on commander bands got me into Magic. My video on how Magic is like so screwed from Wizards of the Coast got you into Magic? My only Magic the Gathering video, and it's like really negative, and that's super funny. Yeah, I still play Magic. I never play Commander though. I only play Draft. We got a good group here in LA, and I do it every now and then. Ari's into it too. Voodooism, thank you for the 57 months. In the final stages of writing my PhD thesis, 2026 is going to be my year. Thanks for the content, big guy. Lethality. First of all, I love your attitude. Hell yeah. Congratulations on writing the fucking thesis. I had to do an undergraduate thesis, and it nearly killed me. And I'm sure PhD is 100 times harder. So good luck, Godspeed. I know you can do it. What do you think of Trump's new vaccine schedule? Again, I'm trying to cut back on my obsessive reading of all the news, but my understanding, I still saw this, is that they just like reduce the amount of diseases you get vaccinated for. Like there's only like, they narrowed it down to like 11 or something, and everything else got cut. That's interesting. That's interesting. Diseases are woke. That is true. We are in a golden age, though. Don't forget that. I got laid off today. Sag feeling cooked. Bro, sincere support from myself, and I'm sure a lot of the chatters. Gold veteran. It's happening to a lot of fucking people. Would not internalize anything about this. It's a crazy, crazy time right now. A lot of companies cutting back, a lot of bankruptcies. It's not fucking cool at all. But I think better things in the way in the year, okay? I've been unemployed for 18 months. I just remember always just finally got a job after a year of unemployment. Hey, congrats. Dr. Fishbone, congrats. That's probably felt fucking great, dude. That honestly, I can only imagine that probably felt pretty fucking great. A year of searching could drive you crazy. Dude, I've been seeing, oh my God. Wait, I was trying to save some notes. I already have I gotta say, this has truly been probably the best 5-day stretch for things that could have been Big A clips on the days I choose not to upload. There has been so much shit. There's so much shit that I could have talked about. I have like probably 20 things. Even like a smaller thing. I think I could make a clip about how Microsoft is so desperate to get everybody to use Copilot. They're renaming Office 365 to Copilot Assistant 365. It's so sad and desperate. It's so sad and desperate, bro. 100%. But I'm trying to stick to it. I'm trying to only do a few. And I'm sure something else major will happen, and I don't want to end up doing like 12 clips. So, but a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. I lost track. We were talking about something. Layoffs. Okay. Yes. Did you see? Oh, did I save this, dude? It's so. Oh yeah, here it is. Let me see if this even loads. Yeah, can you see this? This is someone getting a rejection email. Dude, everything I'm seeing about job hunting right now, not only just the ghost jobs, there's like 1 in 5 jobs, but like this person didn't even bother to cut out the AI rejection starter. It's sure, here's a short and professional rejection email you can use. It's so bad, dude. The amount of, it's insane. Candidate's name. Job title. Oh my goodness. And that's if you get a fucking notice at all. This is at least a plus because you got a rejection. There's so much like no response. And that's of course demoralizing. It's crazy. Yeah. I saw a couple things up this alley. So people are obviously unhappy with the search, of course. Do you think Donald got sad that Atrioc wasn't uploading any Big A clips, so he invaded Venezuela to force one to be made? I think that's the going theory right now. Yeah, I think that is the going theory. 100%. Yeah, I think there's a lot of evidence for that. Wagwan Atrioc. Wagwan. Rabbit Futo. For the year of health, consider Kegels. I think I'm good on Kegels. I think I'm good for Kegels. I applied to 20 plus firms and got ghosted from 7 for over 3 months now. And in one interview, I was told I was too qualified, so I didn't get the job. Dude, being told you're too qualified, I mean, it sounds like a nice thing, but it would piss me off. It's like, bro, I applied here. I applied here because I wanted the job. Don't tell me I'm too qualified. Why don't you let me decide? If I think I'm too qualified, then I'll leave the job. I guess that's why they do it, though. That's honestly why they do it, because they know that you'll leave instantly the second you find anything else. That's why that's also why they do it. Which is true, but come on. And they're right, I will. Yeah, I mean, they're right. They're not even wrong, but it's like, your boy got the Glizzy badge. Congrats, Tokel Death. Is the Glizzy the final one? 46 months. Is the Glizzy the peak? I mean, it is in real life. Quincy is? Oh, Quincy's the peak. Quincy, all the Quincy heads came out of the woodwork and said no. Everybody with the Quincy wanted to make sure that we... These fucking glizzies better not get a big head. All right, we Quincy's run this shit. Would you play Bloons once this year? Yes, done, confirmed. Once this year, I'll play Bloons. You know what would actually make me play Bloons? Would actually make me play a fuck ton of Bloons? BTD 7. Why aren't they on this? Who the fuck? Why aren't they on this? I don't understand why they're not on this. Call it BTD 6-7. BTD 7. Like, is there even... Just why? Fans project this is the most useless information of all time. Fans project a BTD release 7 around 2025 to 2027. Well, 2025 is over. So maybe you don't have it right now. There's literally no reason to do it. Money is the reason to do it. Okay? Money. Because I have spent money on BZ6, and now I'll spend money on BZ7. 6 still makes money? Yeah, but come on, bro. Come on. They're getting enough money from the DLCs? I guess they... Why don't you just make it yourself and steal the IP? Oh. Do you really want to know why? I'm still driving Uber, and oh my God, it's so dangerous. It wants you to look at your phone all the fucking time. They don't do anything to discourage it. Wait, what do you mean? Like the updates on Uber? Like when it's like, bling, 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 or whatever? Okay. Okay. Or is like Uber like, hey, you should check Twitter? Is the Uber app like, dude, there's some fire Instagram reels that you're missing right now? The CEO of Uber just fucking sending you TikToks. Uber has prediction markets now. Did you see someone saying that they should replace food delivery with a prediction market where you go outside and you predict with $20 that a sandwich won't be delivered to your doorstep, and then someone else takes the counter bet and then delivers your sandwich, and that way we can commodify all. It's like the stupidest fucking idea of all time. No, it could not work. No, it's not smart. Just think it through for 1 second. You've immediately created a financial incentive for somebody to rob that, for someone to break that guy's kneecaps. I could stand near your door and bet that you will not receive it and then hit the guy in the knees and steal the sandwich. And then I get $10. It doesn't. It's stupid. You could work with a friend. You could have someone take the counter bet to be delivering the sandwich, and then someone else take the counter bet, keep it, and get paid for it. Get some of your money. It's the dumbest idea. And there's people like you guys that were in the responses like, oh, that's very interesting. Wow, that could kind of work. It's like, no, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work at all. Imagine whether, for streams, we bet whether you finish a game within a certain time period. LOL. I want you guys to know something. I played a game off stream to completion. Sounds like I was coming. I finished the game. I finished the game off stream, and I'm gonna look how long to beat. I played Case of the Golden Idol off stream, and it took me exactly 7 hours to beat. And you know why it is? Because I didn't have any fucking chat chirping in my goddamn ear about how stupid I was on the puzzles. I just was reading, doing the puzzle, doing the puzzle. I had a great time. It was a great game. I had no problem at all. I just enjoyed it. I didn't have chat going, oh my God, Pepe laugh. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it, Pepe laugh. Pepe. Well, he doesn't even see it. And you have a fucking other window open with a solution. It's like, shut up, dude. Shut the fuck up. I played this entire game by myself offline. I had a great time. It's the first time I've done this in like years. It was great. It was really fun. Okay, replay it on stream then? You mean to replay it on stream? You know, that's what I should have done. Honestly, that's what I should have done. I should have pre-played it. I should have pre-played it, pretended like I didn't play it, pulled it open, just crush all the puzzles. Uh, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not pointing fingers, bro. I'm not pointing fingers. It'd be so funny. I still forget. I still forget. Trying to get back into reading. Got any suggestions? Yeah, I do. I always recommend Red Rising. If you're looking for a fiction book to just jump into, a fun, interesting world, yeah, I recommend that. I think it's a great place to get into. People in this community have read it. You can find some like-minded people to talk about it with. If you like it a lot, like a fuck ton, there's more books in the series, but it's self-contained. And if you like it just the right amount, it'll get you into the and then for nonfiction, I used to recommend like The Algebra of Happiness because I thought it was a good way to start thinking about certain things. But now I don't know what I would recommend. I don't know. A bun dance about a living hot dog who dances his way into the hearts of America. Yes, that's what I would recommend. No, I don't know if I would recommend. I want people to read abundance if they want to talk about abundance in like a serious political way. But I don't think it's like a great book to just pick up and read. I would probably recommend. Or I will say, like, if you're interested in financial history a bit, the book 1929 just came out. And it's not written in any kind of, you would think maybe it's written in a boring way. It is actually written for broad public consumption. This book, it's written like with characters, and it's human and it's interesting and it's a bit of a page turner, honestly. And I think it's good if you're interested in that kind of thing. The inside story of the greatest crash in Wall Street history. So I got a real story. I wanted to interview this guy either for Big A or for Lemonade Stand. So I sent an email to like booking@newyorktimes.com. And I was like, hey, can I interview this guy? I have an audience. And they didn't respond to me. And so I went to Vox, who is our podcast publishing house or whatever. And I was like, do you know anybody at New York Times who would get me in touch? And they were like, yeah, here's this email. Send the same thing there. So I do. They respond back. They were like, can we have some more details, blah, blah, blah. And I give them the details. And I was like, I would really like to do this. I'm currently reading this book, and I think it would be a great person to interview. I think we'd have an interesting discussion. And they're like, okay, let me get back to you. They took 3 days to get back to me, but I didn't see their response for like 2 months. And in that 3 days, they said, yeah, sure. We're down. Like what time? When? And I didn't respond. So I fumbled it. I straight up fumbled the rumbled. This is a YTA moment. I'm admitting it. You think I'm not going to, I'm telling the story. This is voluntary. So what I'm going to try to do is say, hey, I think this got lost in the holiday shuffle. But I've finished the book and I would love to pick this back up in the new year. That is the strategy I'm going with. That's the best I got. That's the best I got. So, and hopefully we can get this to work because I think it would be really, really fun. I think it'd be really fun. By the way, the guy we're talking about here, the guy I want to interview, Andrew Ross Sorkin, you've probably seen him on my stream. Not as a guest, but I've watched his thing because he was the guy that did the live interview with Elon Musk. And it was the one where Elon Musk went to the crowd and looked at Bob Iger and said, "Go fuck yourself," to all the advertisers. And then sat down, looked at this guy in the face and said, "Listen, the only reason I'm here is because we're good friends, Jonathan." And this guy goes, "My name's Andrew." That's my favorite. It's my favorite moment ever. It's my favorite moment ever. It's so fire. It's so fire. Did that really happen? Yes, it really happened. Someone's got to find the clip, but this really happened. He said, "The reason I'm here is because we're good friends, Jonathan." And he goes, "It's Andrew." Dude, you have to give Elon Musk credit for not committing seppuku right then. I couldn't survive. People like him are above cringe. That cringe does not affect them. They can be as cringe as want. It doesn't slow them down. That would kill me. That would kill me, bro. To pretend.
So I will certainly not pander. And Jonathan, like, the only reason I'm here is because you are a friend. Like, what was my speaking fee?
You're not making any. First of all, I'm Andrew, but
yeah, sorry,
it's okay. Second of all, we've known each other for a very long time.
Spoken. Yes.
And
that's unreal. That's unreal. By the way, they have known each other for a long time. Like Elon Musk has been interviewed by him many times over many years. That's.
Listen,
you know.
I can't. That's something special. You got to give credit where credit's due. That's something special. The laugh, the Joker laugh. Whew, that's funny. At least he doesn't miss his email for 2 months. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Let's relax. We're laughing at Elon Musk right now. Let's not throw a beloved streamer under the bus. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want streamers to get caught in the crossfire. They're our most sacred asset. How are you living with all the rainy weather in LA? Dude, LA doesn't survive when it rains. Trying to drive in LA in the rain is like Mad Max. Nobody knows what to fucking do. Nobody's using their signal. It's crazy. But now that the rain is over, this guy's right. This guy gets it. This guy LA's. I took my dog to the park today. It was the greenest I've ever seen it. It was lush. It was overflowing with greenery. It's been raining so much. It was lush, dude. We also, we play basketball on Sundays, but it was raining too hard to play. So I thought we canceled it. But then Aiden messages me at like 1 o'clock. He's like, "Hey, I found an indoor court we can play at. Get the crew together. Let's go." So we put out a message on Discord. Almost nobody responds. Nobody wants to come. So instead of like 18, 20 people, we have like 5. And we all show up, and it's not an indoor court. It's just an outdoor covered court. So it's cold, and it's windy, and it's raining around us, but it's covered on top. It's still like wet around the edges too. And so we don't have enough players to play with our group. So we have to get strangers. And honestly, they're way better than us. They're cooking us, dude. It was, I'm saying all this because I'm like playing up the funny part of it, but I had a good time. It actually was a blast. It actually was a blast. There were other people. Yeah, of course. Could you please interview Maduro? Yeah, dude, of course. Yeah, we got him on Lemonade Stand tomorrow. Aiden's gonna really press him. Yeah, we're interviewing Maduro for sure. Dude, the crazy thing about the Maduro, I mean, there's a lot of things crazy about it, so I'm picking the funny part. Did you guys see that Maduro in the period of 24 hours was photographed in like 9 different outfits? He was wearing all sorts of shit, bro. Maduro wore more outfits in one day than I have in all of 2026 so far. He was doing product placement. He's playing Dress to Impress, bro. Tag your favorite? Dude, the Nike Tech? That's drip right there. With the water bottle? Wait, that's actually, that's aura. That's tough. Nike Tech goes dumb bananas. Damn. The Kirkland signature water bottle. Yeah, that's fire. POV Maduro doing an outfit check. That's funny. There was some meme that I saw that was cracking me up, but I can't find it. Anyway, that was good. That was funny. You see what Trump was wearing? Why is he? This is a real photo of Trump? The Flash, dude. What the hell? That's crazy. He's a ghost, dude. It's abstract art. He's a myth. What if we all wake up tomorrow and then everyone starts to gaslight you that Trump was ever there at all? Trump? Who's Trump? I'm dying. He looks like Peter Griffin. There's a Peter Griffin. If this was green pants or something, it could have worked. Joe Biden's been president for 12 years. What's this? This was good. Maduro, I saw this. I don't buy it. I mean, I saw this, that Maduro's dancing was the final straw for Trump. I mean, not that I don't believe that Trump could be baited by this, but I just think it was mostly the Pentagon making the call here. And I mean, maybe they just put this in front of him to get him to give the final sign off. I gotta hold my nose. My nose is getting stuffed. I gotta hold my nose. When you're 1-9 and you hit the taunt on the Master Yi. I retweeted this. I don't know why this cracked me up. This tweet cracked me up, bro. League of Legends coaches when the game is mad close. They just look exactly like that. Okay. I feel like I've seen the T1 coaching staff make this exact face. Oh my God. I just went out there and I got a reminder. I got a fucking reminder. So as you guys know, there's been a saga that my house has been taken over by the fucking French. Wait a minute. First, I gotta say something. Finally, when you put the vote in the hands of the people, they announced loud and proud Silk Song won Game of the Year on Steam. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Let the people's voice be heard. Yeah. Game of the Year, Silk Song. Streets know. Streets fucking know. You get this much game for $20? Were you kidding me? Yeah. Did I stuff the ballots? Yeah. Did I have Isto create a bot that voted 100,000 times a minute? Yeah, of course. It also won Best Game You Suck At award. How about that? 2 wins. Oh, nice best soundtrack. Nice best soundtrack, E33. Nice pity prize. Okay? I don't know. The reason I'm being shitty to E33 is because Ari's been playing it nonstop. She's fully addicted to the game. And I watched her beat it today. She finally beat it. And I saw, you know, I feel like I knew the story because I watched Connor's video, but I finally understood the story now. And I gotta be honest with you, I get it. I get why it's well liked. But I don't want to spoil. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything. But here's what I want to say. It wasn't even about whether the story, what I think about it. It was about this. Let me get this photo so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Very important. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Okay, how do I share it with myself? Maybe I'll put it on Slack and then I can open it. Okay. And then I open Slack on here. And then I want you guys to see this video. I took this video while watching Ari play. You should do MS Paint to explain the story of the Paintress. I could, but I don't want to because I'll let everyone get mad at me for spoiling. But I watched Ari play. Come on, load the video. It's fun. Okay, wait, it's almost loaded. Atrioc watched Ari play because he didn't play any games anymore. Bro, I just played Case of the Golden Idol yesterday. Beat it all in one day. Start to finish. Puzzle game Fiesta. That's not a real game. You're a hater and a fake. You're a hater and a fake. Here it is. Okay. So how do I full screen this? No. I want to full screen. Okay, here it is. I'm trying to watch Ari play this game and I'm trying to get into the story and appreciate it, right? And I'm mad, as you know already, because the fucking French took all the awards of the Game Awards and they've been dominating everything. And my wife won't play Hollow Knight and she only plays this game. Okay? And then I try to watch the story to appreciate it. And in the cutscenes, the characters wear the outfits that she picked. This is the outfit she picked.
Why continue to look at all? I don't know. Maybe because I still hear their voices in my head.
Dude, the bro he has a baguette on his back.
They always said at the end.
He's wearing a baguette on his back, a full baguette. Look, I got another. This is crazy. And so they're trying to have like these serious scenes where he's like, you know, pleading for his life or whatever. And he's got a baguette. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Macron died for this game. He's very much alive. Have you considered the game is French? Too French. Too fucking French. That's my point. Anyway, so she's still playing it. She beat it. She beat the finale, but she's a completionist. So she's doing all the little extra stuff, which is crazy, bro. I couldn't get her to play Hollow Knight for 20 minutes, and she's completing 100% of E33. The only part I like of that game is when you're flying around on Esky. That's the only fun part. Yeah, like Hitman. I like games where you're flying around. Yeah. I think Hitman's a game where you fly around and, you know, let's talk about the economy. Thank you for the 46 months. Thank you, Vulcan, for the Prime. Overtime Pluto, thank you for the Prime. Dat Allen CFG, thank you for the Prime. Grayton, thank you for the 41 months. Spicy Milk, thank you for the Prime. MVLKMVN, thank you for the 18 months. Now that you're taking a break, are you watching all the Harry Potters and eating avocado toast? Stay healthy, streamer. I'm not watching all the Harry Potters. Though, if you liked that Harry Potter video where I kind of just crash out on Harry Potter for 2 hours and we edited it down to 30 minutes. If you liked that video, it turns out, I didn't even know this, we did basically another one already, just on a random day, like months ago, where I talk about what video game or movie would be the best to live in. And Jelly already edited it. She just turned it in. She's like, yeah, I just had a side project, and she turned it in. And it's hilarious. I think it's really funny. I mean, I shouldn't toot my own horn, but I think it's very funny. So that's going up, I think, you know, soon. I thought it was a great. The new Fern video is up your alley. What's the Fern video? Fern. Why Europe's addicted to cocaine? Fuck, I gotta see that. Why Europe's addicted to cocaine? Wait a minute.
Que la guerra contra las drogas ha fracasado rotundamente.
We need to talk about cocaine.
Especially in East Germany, it's really, really easy to get drugs, even hard ones.
You can just walk into a club and get your hands on something in under 5 minutes.
Okay.
Europe's cocaine crisis is getting wider and deeper.
The coke is everywhere.
It's pretty much the most profitable substance in the entire world.
From blackmail to kidnappings and torture, criminal gangs have unleashed an unprecedented wave of drug-related violence.
Okay.
All the big Colombian drug dealers, they going to Europe. It's easier to import the drug.
It'll only end up with you being captured or killed.
Damn, Europe! You little, you riding the slopes? You're on the white slopes? You guys are, yeah, no, you're fucking around like that.
One of the Netherlands' most renowned crime reporters has been shot and seriously wounded in Amsterdam.
A set of shipping containers converted into a makeshift prison with a soundproof torture chamber.
Jesus Christ. Guys, bro's got a fucking movie intro for his YouTube video. I need to get Adish on this. We need this for every Big A clip. we need like a slow motion 3D graphic of like a glizzy exploding or something at the beginning of. Why Europe's addicted to cocaine.
These days, cocaine is everywhere. On TV, in music, in clubs, and at work.
You ordered Diet Coke, that's a joke, right?
Okay, can we be real?
In clubs and at work.
Can we be real? I think Pusha T is a great artist, and I think he did a good job finding out that Drake had a hidden child, which is a crazy rap beef moment. Well, he's been rapping about dealing coke for like, dude, it feels like 30 years. Right? It's the same bar. It's the same. It's always about fucking dealing coke. And it's like, even if you dealt even if you were as involved as you say, which seems like an exaggeration, it would have been like for a year and a half. Like it's such a different, it's like, if you look at the timeline, it's like you did it for a very short period of time and you talked about it for way longer. He's
We wanted to know more about this
your
drug.
league career. Do I get on here every day and talk about how my league career? You guys are going to say yes, but it's not true. It's not true. Did I build my channel around my league career? Am I constantly doing an intro about my league career? No, I'm not. No, that's not. You guys are saying yes, but you're lying. No.
Where does it come from? What does it do to those who
That
consume
Fizz
it?
guy made you?
And why is it all of a sudden flooding Europe? We had a ton of questions. So we started looking for answers from scientists, experts, doctors, users, and you. A few months ago, we asked viewers of our German channel to share their experiences with cocaine. Nearly 4,000 of them reached out to us. From all their stories, we created these characters. They're based on real people from Germany, but we changed their voices and fictionalized their names. Of course, their stories aren't representative of society in general, but they do help us better understand cocaine.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
Right. Okay.
Tony just started his shift as a doorman at the club, but he's already fighting off exhaustion.
I work 12-hour shifts in my main job.
A little bump.
It's a 2-shift system, days and nights. A constant, unhealthy change. You just run out of energy after a while.
Inside the club, Linda has just arrived.
We drop our stuff off at the coat
Okay,
check.
listen, I can sympathize with the guy being overworked, and so he's out of energy. But the idea of using cocaine as like a repeatable daily source of energy that's gonna fail so quickly. Your body will break down. There's nobody. That doesn't.
And head to the bathroom. That's just standard protocol.
Cooks do it.
Across the street, Max and his crew are at their favorite bar. He's feeling tense.
I guess Wall Street does it.
I get overwhelmed when everyone starts talking over each other.
Upstairs, Nick is getting ready for a long night of World of Warcraft.
Come on. Just do the coke. You know what I'm saying? Cut the wow out of your life. just unplug the computer, do the coke. At least you'd be outside. Go ahead.
In the room next door, Lars dodges another call from his parents. They've been blowing up his phone for days. Meanwhile, Marco is the last one left at the office. He has a few more important deals to close.
I can work all night and only crash for a few hours around noon.
They all have one thing in common. They do coke. They snort the white powder through a small tube.
Dude, there is no fucking way on earth you could work all night on cocaine, crash out at noon, and then be at work the next day and not be obvious. Do you know what I'm saying? There is nobody that doesn't realize that you were on a bender. You would look so obviously on a bender. You would 100%. Only one way to find out. But who cares? I feel like you would lose your job, or you would just turn your cameras off on Teams. You work from home? If you work from home, do you really need to be pulling all-nighters on cocaine?
Or through rolled up bills. That's not just a cliche. Most people take cocaine by snorting it.
Why is everyone in chat saying you'd be surprised like you're all doing 12-hour midnight shifts on coke? Why is everyone in chat being like, no, bro, you don't get it. You don't get it. Guys, at best, you guys are the World of Warcraft guy. Don't pretend you're the finance guy pulling 12-hour shifts. You're the World of Warcraft guy.
Coke is everywhere in Europe. Surveys indicate that over 1.2% of all Europeans between the ages of 15 and 64 do cocaine at least once a year. Among the 15 to 34-year-olds, it's almost 3%. That's roughly 2.7 million people.
Es gibt kaum eine Gruppe, in der Kokain nicht angekommen ist.
Heike Zurhold is a sociologist and criminologist. We met her at the University Medical Center in Hamburg. She probably knows cocaine users, at least here in Germany, better than any other researcher.
Ja.
Oh yeah, she like the party. she's out there. She got the connects.
Wahrscheinlich.
Zurhold studies addiction here at the Center for Interdisciplinary
Walter White of
Addiction Research.
European cocaine.
She's spent the last several years interviewing hundreds of users from all walks of life and their cocaine use. The hype around the substance worries her. So does the fact that many people believe they can handle it just fine. Some can, but others lose control without even realizing it. Research indicates a trend over the last few years. Young people in Europe are drinking and smoking less on average, but using significantly more cocaine. Heike Zurhold smoking less on average, but using significantly.
This doesn't add up, bro. You can't drink 6% less and do 118% more coke. That's not balancing out.
More cocaine. Heike Zurhold explains this has a lot to do with its ever-increasing availability. Cocaine has never been easier to come by. Global production is hitting new highs every year, and coke is quick and easy to consume, making it a perfect fit for our fast-paced world. But what exactly happens inside the heads of people on cocaine?
Dude, getting bored scrolling TikTok, so you have to take coke to keep it interesting. I just envisioned the dystopia. Somebody's sitting down to scroll, but they need a bump to keep it.
When we laugh, our brains release dopamine. Dopamine motivates us and drives our desire to take action. It's widely considered a key part of the reward system in our brains.
Yeah.
During an orgasm, dopamine levels in the brain rise by about 80%.
I don't know if you guys saw, there was a kind of a discourse on social media, on Twitter. There was a father who wrote this long multi-paragraph essay on like, am I a bad guy that when my son wants to hang out and play catch with me, I fucking hate him? Like, I don't want to do it. All I can think about is like getting back to my coffee and phone. And like, the responses are like, kinda, yeah. Squeaks wrote it, by the way. I'm sorry to put him on blast, but it was Squeaks' post. And yeah, the guy was like so obviously dopamine addicted. He was so obviously like deeply dopamine addicted. And it's like, you couldn't even get a moment of spiritual joy from your son wanting to hang out with you and play catch. +2, not the asshole. The kid sounds annoying as fuck. What if the kid's vibes are shit? You ever think about that? What if you just do a little bump of coke before you hang out with your kids so it takes the edge off?
With crystal meth, that number jumps to around 1,400%, which is why the drug is so incredibly addictive.
Damn, so if you take crystal meth, you will no longer enjoy coming. Sex is boring because you did crystal meth. Damn. Is this why people that play League of Legends become virgins? Because obviously it's a very attractive thing to do. League of Legends is a great hobby. So it's not that like, is it because it releases so much dopamine that they don't enjoy having sex? Because like getting a pentakill or like winning your lane and then roaming bot and getting a double kill is like obviously up here with the crystal meth tier.
Which is why the drug is so incredibly addictive.
Da kann man sich ungefähr die Dimension vorstellen, wie stark dieser Kick ist und wie unvergesslich ein solcher Zustand ist schon beim allerersten.
I don't think you can become a virgin. Bro has never played League of Legends. I had sex before I got into League. I didn't get in the league till sophomore year of college. Okay, I had sex. I became a virgin. Like, I promise you. I promise you, dude. It comes back. League of Legends gives it back. You get your V card in the mail. They literally say it.
This is Professor Mulick from Chemnitz University. We talked to him for our documentary on crystal meth. The link is in the description. A cocaine rush isn't as intense as the one you get from meth. According to some estimates, coke increases dopamine release by around 200 to 400% when it's snorted, depending on dosage and purity.
Rookie numbers.
It's a massive kick.
Crushing that powder almost felt like a ritual because you knew that very soon everything would feel a bit more intense. Everything would shine a bit brighter.
I can feel it in my nose, feel it slowly running down my throat.
That's how you know it's getting into your system.
Is this video going to be a 30-minute ad for Coke? Let's be careful. I don't want you to go around all these people just telling them how great Coke is, bro. Get to the part where there's like serious consequences.
Everything is pulsing. Your whole body is tingling and you can automatically feel your mood go up.
And all of a sudden you feel strong and pumped.
I feel prettier on the outside too.
Like I'm growing from the inside. You just feel bigger and extremely confident.
I'm just
Bro took Cialis, thought it was Coke.
Genuinely happy. I get to enjoy life. It's just a really cool feeling.
From the nasal cavity, the substance quickly makes its way through the mucous membrane and into the brain. The high
Was this channel bought by private equity or the cartels? We're like 7 minutes in, you haven't even mentioned a downside.
Kicks in within just a few minutes. Heart rate and blood pressure rise. Breathing gets faster and body temperature starts to climb. With cocaine, the most intense part of the high hits within 15 minutes. That's when you reach peak euphoria and feel the most uplifted. It keeps you awake and makes you feel invincible, cool, and uninhibited.
This is kind of like winning your lane in League of Legends. Same kind of thing. And then the come down happens right as your jungler starts to feed. And then you get trapped in a 45-minute slog. And then right here, when it's supposed to be 5v5, somebody doesn't group and they fucking throw and it goes negative. So there's like the journey
Over the
is
next
the same.
hour or so, that effect fades. There are many reasons why people use cocaine. Sociologist Heike Zurhold has identified 4 main user groups, and they correspond surprisingly well with what our community told us in their messages. By far the largest group is recreational users.
I heard Jesus did cocaine on a night out. I can feel my face when I'm with you.
Many users take cocaine at parties, mostly on weekends. The problem is that some end up taking too much of it or mixing it with alcohol. Linda is one of them. Tonight, she wants to go all in.
Have fun, a couple of beers, a couple of lines, connect with friends. I guess that's what I want out of a good night out.
It only takes a quick trip to the club bathroom to shake off all that nasty weekday stress.
Wait, I'm sorry. Someone said that's what the song is about? You thought I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You wasn't about cocaine? You thought he just was having a stroke or something? Yeah, it's a song about drugs, bro.
Linda feels awake, confident, and ready to
He was
party
smiling
till dawn.
so hard.
That's when the grinning starts. They've done a line and I've done a line and we all just
That's
look at
actually
each other
sweet
and
that
smile.
you thought that.
To really feel the music at a concert.
Without it, you couldn't really last a whole night at a Berlin club.
Linda doesn't stop at one line. To make it through the whole night, she'll be heading to the
That's the
bathroom a
kids'
few more
Bob
times to top herself up. After an hour, the effect is gone. That's when many feel the need to take more. Zurhold urges users to keep track of time and take long breaks between doses to avoid ODing. For Linda and other users, partying on cocaine has another beneficial side effect. She can handle more alcohol. At least, that's what it feels like. So she has a few more drinks than usual, and she's not alone.
Man hat oft das Gefühl, dass man unter Kokain nicht betrunken wird. Das ist aber falsch.
Cocaine
Natürlich
keeps you
wird
from
man
getting
auch
drunk.
betrunken, man merkt es nur nicht.
If you don't want to get drunk, just don't drink. The point of drinking is to get a little drunk. You know, why are you taking cocaine so you can enjoy the taste of the beer? What's the fucking point? What was the...
Das ist eine große Gefahr.
The mix of cocaine and alcohol creates a byproduct called cocaethylene in the body. It acts similarly to cocaine, but stays in the system much longer. That increases the risk of a fatal overdose by up to 25 times.
Oh, great.
When you work the door at a club, alcohol is off limits. But before his shift, Tony's already done his first line of the night.
Sometimes I'll do it with a coworker, as a sort of social interaction, you know?
Tony belongs to the second group, those who use cocaine as a social icebreaker, to loosen up around other people. He's shy and introverted by nature, which isn't always ideal when you work as a bouncer. Making small talk with guests is...
The bouncer's doing coke to be friendlier? Nobody expects you to be that friendly. You're the bouncer. He's shy? You're the bouncer. You check the ID.
Much easier on coke.
These days, it just helps me talk through all the crap you have to say all night. Like, hey, what's up? Can I see some ID? And I'm going to have a look at your bag. It's always the same small talk, over.
You got social anxiety about saying, can I see your ID as a bouncer? So you need a bump of cocaine to hype yourself up. Dude, Zoomers are going to be doing cocaine to do a phone call with the bank. I need to make a withdrawal to order a pizza on the phone, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not social anxiety. That's like a regular job question.
And over.
And Tony's not the only one.
Wir haben sozusagen eine Gruppe, die soziale Hemmungen haben, die schüchtern sind, die sagen, ich komme nicht gut in großen Gruppen klar. Da ist Kokain etwas, was ihnen hilft, etwas Hemmungen zu verlieren, ein größeres Selbstbewusstsein zu haben.
Cocaine heavily stimulates the central nervous system. It boosts the release of dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, among other things. Inhibitions drop, confidence spikes. Some of these effects actually intensify with frequent use, like the inflated sense of confidence. Others, like the burst of euphoria, fade with time. The brain adapts to the substance and develops a certain tolerance. Zurhold explains that the more you integrate cocaine use into your daily life, the rarer the pleasurable effects become. To feel them again, users have to take long breaks.
It's the bird drug
Frequent
video.
And excessive use can also have lasting effects on the brain. Studies suggest that cocaine can damage both the structure and function of the brain.
You guys know what's better than cocaine? Getting whooshed onto screen. That is a dopamine rush you can't imagine. A whoosh, dude? Holy. Fuck yeah. Then everyone chat spams facts. This guy's riding a high. Chasing that shit forever. Good one, dude. Good one. This guy gets it. Old mate Nico. At Old mate Nico. That is fucking funny. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. Why don't you draw a prime, though? Why don't you draw a prime, dude? Maybe we'll do another whoosh. I feel like it's easier to whoosh someone when they're primed. I'm just thinking about it.
Severe cases can even lead to personality changes. Instead of becoming more social, long-term users are often described as increasingly antisocial and narcissistic.
That stuff destroys your soul. There's no other way to put it.
I was almost pushy with my boyfriend on coke, and more aggressive. But at the same time, I got super sensitive.
Coke turns you into an animal. I get so aggressive and barbaric.
I just got like 8 primes. You guys are fucking fiends. Please whoosh me. Oh my God, I need this. 6 months of prime. Thanks, bro. It's not going to hit the same, I'll tell you that.
Eric. And sometimes I just enjoy just dropping politeness and randomly screaming at people.
Zurhold confirms that aggression is a common behavioral side effect. Many heavy users eventually stop functioning in groups, isolating themselves and retreating into compulsive habits like endless YouTube binges or gaming marathons.
Wait, are you guys all on coke for real? Wait, are you guys all on coke for real?
Lars hasn't left his room for days. He skipped work 3 days in a row. He's basically done nothing but order pizza, scroll through TikTok, and snort coke.
Dude.
Max would also prefer to crash in his couch.
It's so sad. It's so sad that there's a part of your brain that's like, damn, kind of sounds fire. Except for the coke part. Just the idea of like 3 days, pizza, scrolling, YouTube on. It sounds kind of fire, like high key. But you know it's long-term terrible. We all know it. But it's fucking, there's a part of your brain that just wants to rot, dude.
Scroll through TikTok and snort coke. Max would also prefer to crash in his couch, but he's forced himself out tonight, and coke helps him cope with larger groups of people.
If I'm invited somewhere, like to a loud bar with 10 people talking at once, I just know I'll need a line beforehand. Otherwise, I can't handle it. All those people talking over each other and that heavy background noise.
Something strange happens when Max does coke. Instead of stimulating him, it calms him down. It slows his thoughts. That's because Max has ADHD.
Of course, I feel more awake in general, but when you have ADHD, everything just starts to feel calmer. Because all that stuff that usually floods in, you can suddenly filter out and focus really well.
Max uses coke as a sort of self-prescribed medicine.
Okay, it's not
puts him
medicine.
in the next
It's-
user
if you
group,
have ADHD, it's not
self-medicators.
medicine.
Surhold says that for people with ADHD or depression, cocaine can subjectively feel like it helps, although in reality, it makes it worse.
Well,
the way cocaine acts is similar to some ADHD meds. Put simply, it stimulates areas of the brain that tend to be underactive in people with ADHD. For example, a cocaine-infused dopamine surge can temporarily compensate for an ADHD-related lack of dopamine, making affected users feel calmer and more focused. But this relief can backfire fast. People who get used to solving their
Enough for
problems with
nothing.
cocaine are at a higher risk of slipping into addiction. Those post-high crashes can deepen depression and even increase the risk of suicidal thoughts.
Jesus Christ.
Real help doesn't come from a substance. It comes from reaching out and getting support. Max started using more and more too.
Okay.
What began as occasionally before going out turned into every day at work.
Yikes. Dude, that seems expensive on its own.
If I knew I had work on a larger project, then I'd treat myself to a little bump to get started, sometimes even in the morning. But most of the time I just start using around midday.
That puts him in the last and probably the smallest of the four groups, those who do coke to perform. Surhold explains that this group includes people who need to deliver, at work, during sports, or in any other setting that requires stamina.
There's no
Cocaine
way.
doesn't actually increase performance.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say.
it keeps users awake, alert, and on the job longer. Marco can barely get through work without it anymore. He's self-employed and often works through the night, only crashing around noon the next day.
It's extremely hard for me to keep my sales this high without the substance. It sounds bad, but thanks to coke, I don't depend on any employer.
Yeah, but I feel like it's cope, bro. I feel like that's like your mind reverse explaining the addiction. Like you're addicted to it, and so it's like, well, it's because it helps me with my, but like, I don't think it's actually.
This is a feeling many users in the group share.
As a recruiter, I spend days making calls and nights writing emails to potential candidates.
I was heavily addicted for 2 years.
Bro, if you're a recruiter right now, you do none of those things. You're a recruiter right now, you might send an email a fucking week, AI generated, and ain't nobody getting a call. You don't need coke for that.
I just started my own business and just wanted to keep performing.
For a long time, coke had the image of a luxury drug for top-earning, overly ambitious high performers.
Second key to success in this racket is
was a great
this little
scene.
baby right here. It's called cocaine. Right.
But Surhold says that's
That's a
changed.
great scene.
Those people still exist, But coke has long since reached other worlds. Shift work, for example.
To make sure we all get home safe from work at the aluminium plant, I need to stay awake and flawless.
The drug is also used in other sectors, like nursing.
Oh,
I
God.
do coke to get through my hospital shifts.
Dude, obviously they shouldn't do that, but I'm just saying, man, the more I learn about nursing, it's like they just got to hire more nurses, man. We got to change something. It's insane. Their schedules are so ridiculous and they're in charge of such important shit. Why are the shifts so long? It doesn't make any fucking sense. They do like 12 hours. It doesn't make any sense. It's insane. The people at the end of their shift are not human. They're zombies. And they have to, like, if I'm getting the last shift of nurses, I would give them coke. Please take a bump before you take my vitals. Just please, because I don't trust you. It's crazy.
First year as a social care worker, I did 0.5 gram per 5-hour shift.
But there's one industry where cocaine seems especially common.
12-hour shift isn't too bad. 12-hour shift is bad. Just full stop. But also they're doing 4x12. So 4 12-hour shifts in a week. That is just horrendous, dude. 4x12s is insane. It's a fucking insane thing to do. You get fucking burnt. Didn't know you were a wokey. 3x12? My friend's a nurse. She said 4x12, but I'm sure some do 3x12s. I don't know. I just think it's crazy.
Starting with bouncers like Tony.
Sorry, but XQC does that shit every week and doesn't complain. You know what? You're fucking right. Why do our greedy, selfish nurses complain all month when our streamers like XQC put in the real work?
Bartenders.
This way I don't get too drunk when I have a drink with the guests.
Waiters.
I could do the work of 2 waiters when I was on it.
And even cooks.
And I think gastronomy is one of the worst industries for it. Like,
you're a coked out waiter just rushing around thinking they're like the greatest waiter of all time. I'm a super waiter. I can do you're just fucking eyes bloodshot, tweaking, picking up all your shit off the table.
70 to 80% of the people there do it.
Men especially use coke, roughly 2 to 3 times as much, according to Zurhold. No matter who wants it, they can get it. Ridiculously easy and incredibly fast. Linda lives in a small town in eastern Germany. For her, coke is just a phone call away.
One call or a short message is all it takes, especially in small towns. People don't expect that. But I feel like, especially in East Germany, it's really, really easy to get drugs, even hard ones.
It's no different for Tony at the club.
Even if you don't know anyone in the city, you can just walk into a club and get your hands on something in under 5 minutes. I promise.
In major European cities like Berlin, Madrid, Vienna, or Amsterdam, so-called drug taxis deliver cocaine right to your door within minutes.
Wow, they have convenience.
In this case, accessibility is part of a much bigger and very
Uber for
serious
coke?
problem. In other cases, fast and easy access is exactly what you want. Like when you're trying to access your high-end workspace from some picturesque beach cafe halfway across the world. That's where AnyDesk comes in. Their room/fern and stay connected. In most European countries, a gram of coke costs roughly 60 to 80 euros.
That is crazy.
Some estimates put street prices as low as 20 euros per gram in Luxembourg and up to 140 euros per gram in Finland. Producing that same gram costs just 1 to 3 euros. The difference is pocketed by smugglers, middlemen, and dealers. To further boost profits, the product also gets cut and sometimes contaminated with anything that vaguely resembles white powder. Speed, amphetamine, caffeine pills, and milk sugar. But one of the most common cutting agents is levamisole, a medication used to treat parasitic worm infections in large livestock.
What?
It looks a lot like cocaine, and Once metabolized, it can even mimic some of its effects. But there's also good news. Well, sort of.
Also, wir wissen, dass Kokain momentan einen Reinheitsgehalt von 80% hat. Das heißt, es sind 20% Streckmittel drin. Das war mal.
Bro, they need a Walter White to come in here and do the blue snow or something. Make it blue, make it 100%. This is crazy. 20% cutting agents you don't even know?
Viel dramatischer.
The 2025 European Drug Report confirms these numbers. Average cocaine purity is on an upward trend and has increased by 34% over the last decade. But higher purity poses new dangers. It increases the risk of overdosing. The purer the substance, the smaller the margin for error. If you don't know how to adjust your dose to match the purity, you're in trouble.
Oh, people want it to be
In
more
many
impure.
European countries, drug checking, also known as pill testing, has become a key harm reduction practice. Users can go to qualified facilities to anonymously test substances like cocaine for purity and dangerous additives. You can also test your drugs at many clubs and festivals. We've listed some helpful resources for finding testing sites in the description.
Okay.
But the purest cocaine, of course,
Okay,
is still
this-
found where it all begins. Here, in Colombia, on the
Colombia.
eastern slopes of the Andes, grows an inconspicuous green
We're
shrub,
going to invade there soon,
the cocoa
probably.
plant. It's been part of South American indigenous culture for thousands of years. People here were already chewing coca leaves some 4,000 to 8,000 years ago. Ever since, coca leaves have been serving as fuel for exhausting journeys across the towering Andes. The Inca treated the coca plant as sacred. They often used it in rituals and religious ceremonies. In the early 17th century, sailors brought coca leaves from South America to Europe. By the mid-19th century, German chemist Albert Niemann discovered that he could extract a white powder from them. He called it cocaine. In 18...
You know Albert Niemann was having a good time. You know Albert Niemann would fuck. That's, by the way, his son went on to be a notorious chess cheater. Okay? Yeah, and I think there's some cocaine involved in that too.
1862, German pharmaceutical company Merck first produced the substance for commercial sale. A year later, French chemist Angelo Mariani created a medical cocktail
It used
made
to be
from
in
Bordeaux
soda, right?
wine
Coca-Cola?
and coca leaves. This special wine was produced by soaking 60 grams of coca leaves in a liter of wine for 10 hours. The alcohol drew out the active compound in the coca leaves. Rumor has it, Mariani originally created the drink as medicine for an actress suffering from depression. Later on, it allegedly became Pope Leo XIII's favorite drink. A few years later, American pharmacist John Pemberton took inspiration from Mariani's concoction. Alcohol was controversial in the US back then, so Pemberton dropped the wine and added cola nuts, which contained caffeine.
Coca-Cola!
Then he flavored the bitter drink with lavender, caramel, cinnamon, and sugar, and topped the bottles off with soda water. In 1886, the first iteration of Coca-Cola was born.
Holy shit.
At first, a liter of Coca-Cola reportedly contained about 250 milligrams of cocaine. Some sources have even speculated about an insane 3.5 grams per bottle. The exact formula and cocaine content remain a secret to this
People
day.
were living it up.
It's possible the
Little
drink
kid,
never
little
actually
Timmy at the soda
contained
fountain?
cocaine, but mainly ecgonine, a natural but non-addictive coca compound. Cocaine was already used in medicine before the invention of Coca-Cola, first in analgesic eye drops and later as a local anesthetic. By the late 19th century, cocaine was all over Europe. Snorted or consumed as menthol eucalyptus lozenges to cure sore throats.
Oh wow, coke
One
tablets?
pill every 4 to 6 hours, each containing around 3 milligrams
For your
of cocaine.
sore throat?
Kids were even given cocaine toothache drops, sold at the pharmacy, no prescription needed. Then, in 1914,
Dude,
the Harrison
Coke
Narcotic
Zins?
Act took effect in the U.S., banning cocaine from soft drinks
We're going to be
and
back to
over-the-counter
that.
drugs.
We're going to be back to that.
That same year, World War I broke out, and British soldiers started using cocaine as a stimulant. By World War II, German, British, American, and Japanese troops all turned to amphetamines. You may have heard of tank chocolate or airman's marzipan. Today, the medical use of cocaine is limited to a few rare cases where
Okay, but I'll say, like, if you're in the trenches of World War I and you need a bump, like, I don't judge you. But if you're a bouncer who needs to say, I need to see your ID, it's a different, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you might die, then all right, fuck it. You know what but all right, Genie O's, thank you for the gifted.
it's still used as a local anesthetic. You won't find it in sodas or on pharmacy shelves anymore. And yet, global cocaine production is at a historic high. Today, most of the cocaine sold and consumed around the globe comes from just 3 countries: Peru, Bolivia, and above all, Colombia. The coca plants are grown on vast plantations alongside bananas, coffee, and palm oil. For many farmers, coca makes economic sense. The plant is resilient and can be harvested up to 7 times a year. Growing coca is often far more profitable than farming legal crops.
The income I earn from coca allows me and my family to get what we need to live. Only the essentials.
There are different ways to produce cocaine, but all of them start the same way, with harvesting, which is done.
So remember I did a video about how the coke cartels, the coke farms, started invading and taking over the banana farms so they could steal their shipping supplies and like port access, and so they could smuggle the coke within the bananas because the coke was so much more profitable than the banana. Which was pretty insane, yeah.
Done entirely by hand.
Yeah, I made a video on it. I know, I remember
First,
that.
the leaves are chopped up. Then, they're sprinkled with fertilizer and dusted with lime. The fertilizer helps release the active substance from the coca leaves. The mixture is often soaked in gasoline to boost extraction.
Oh, God.
Most farmers work with little to no protective gear. Then the leaves sit overnight in large barrels or holes in the ground. They're repeatedly doused with gasoline, stirred, and stomped on until the concoction starts to curdle. After the liquid is extracted from the mixture, sulfuric acid and water are added to it. This pulp has to be filtered again until you get this thick paste, the so-called coca paste.
Ugh.
In the final stages, adding carbonate salt and diethyl ether produces a white mass that the workers dry by boiling. A few final...
Dude, can I say it? I think if coke was like sludgy looking or gray, it would be 1/50th as popular. I think the fact that it looks like that white powder makes it seem something about it. I literally think that's why. People think it's like cleaner.
Chemical tweaks create the fine white powder that ends up in millions of noses around the world. In 2022 alone, an estimated 2,700 tons of cocaine were produced in South America.
Clean coke, folks.
Across the production and supply chains, drug cartels call the shots. For decades, authorities worldwide have been waging a bitter war against them. In Colombia alone, 6 decades of drug-fueled conflict have killed around 450,000 people, displaced more than 8 million, and forced tens of thousands of children out of school. Some South American countries have been partly labeled failed states. In these regions, extremely rich and powerful cartels have successfully infiltrated and taken control of the government.
Que la guerra contra las drogas ha fracasado rotundamente.
When we think of cartels, we immediately jump to Pablo Escobar and Colombia's Medellin or Cali outfits. But those big Colombian cartels were dismantled in the 1990s. The resulting power vacuum has been filled by a Mexican syndicate. They dominate the global cocaine trade to this day. The most important players are the Sinaloa cartel and the fast-rising...
You know what, though? I think if we get rid of these cartels, that'll be it. Do you know what I'm saying? If we can just kill the leader of this cartel, boom. We finally cut the head off the snake and it's done. That will have won the war and it's over. I do not think that anything new will ever spring up to meet the endless, insatiable demand for cocaine. I think it will just be the
Jalisco New
end.
Generation Cartel, or CJNG. On the ground, they partner with criminal guerrilla groups, the Gulf Clan, Colombia's National Liberation Army, or ELN, or the Central General Staff, EMC.
90% of war on drugs stop just before they win. It's the guy with the diamonds, but instead of diamonds, it's mountains of coke. Yes, dude, we'll stop it. We just gotta.
For international distribution, they cooperate with some of the world's most notorious mafia networks, from Chinese triads and the Albanian mafia to Italy's Ndrangheta. These criminal organizations each manage local retail in their respective domestic markets. South America has...
We shouldn't make our own to compete with them. I mean, look, I don't think we should for things like coke, but if you legalized it, fucking Pfizer would have a hit squad killing all the cartels in 2 days. And it would be in every grocery store and they would own the supply chain. Like, it's not... If they were able to sell it and they didn't need it would be over. Johnson & Johnson Coke would be on every street corner, and why shouldn't we do that? Well, similarly to with legalizing gambling, it turns out that when you legalize it, there is some percentage of people who wouldn't have done it before who now do it. And so you end up with a huge wave of new addiction. You know, people said the argument, oh, if we legalize all this gambling and put it on your phone, then finally we'll be able to tax it and we'll have tax revenue. It won't be underground. But it turns out when it was underground, it was a lot smaller amount of people. So that's the problem. I mean, really, you have to find a way, whether it's through, I don't know, a combination of education and alternatives or whatever, to reduce demand. You can, of course, you know, protect your border and spend some amount of money and time, but the idea that you're going to like throw enough money or troops or soldiers at it and then stop drugs is crazy. There's massive demand, and so people will keep creating it to fill that demand. They'll keep creating supply. So yeah, I think you got to find a way. We should legalize therapy. That's your plan? Legalize therapy. It is legal. That's not. That's the millennial solution. We need to legal. Once we make comedy legal again, then we're not going to worry about the drugs.
Become one of the world's major hubs for organized crime. From here, cocaine fans out to every corner of the globe. There are countless ways to move cocaine across borders. Trafficking to North America is often handled via undeclared flights or clandestine fishing boats. It's a never-ending cat-and-mouse game between traffickers and law enforcement agents, one that forces smugglers to get creative. Some cartels have started to build their own semi-submersible high-tech vessels. We made a whole video about these so-called narco subs.
Is crazy.
The link's in the description.
They got subs now.
Most of the cocaine heading to Europe is hidden in massive cargo ships. This contraband has been found inside all kinds of objects: books, surfboards, car tires, pumpkins, and even inside walking aids for the elderly. But one hiding place still reigns supreme for all EU-bound traffic.
Oh!
Banana crates.
Pre-watched.
About 200 million banana boxes are imported into the EU.
Pre-made a video on it. Atrioc banana cocaine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday Wins and Fails, a show that covers all of the interesting stories in the last week in marketing. But America's cocaine increases in supply that would normally lower cost have not.
EU each year. Finding the one stuffed with cocaine is like looking for a proverbial needle in a haystack. The North
Look at
Sea
that
has
hair.
become one of the...
I have the same hair now. Wait, I want to see. Where did I just closed it? Young Atrioc. This is like a year and a half ago. It's not that crazy. Damn, my hair does look kind of good though. High key. I think this is what I'm talking about. I think I definitely got some. I added some weight, bro. It's not I don't think it's the hair. I think it's the weight. And also my beard is longer. I'm chunked up. I'm not taking off the hat because my hair's greasy because I worked out today. But it's the same. It's the same. It's the same. I think I ate too much. Too much snacks, bro. That's why I gotta get back. This guy was working out. I gotta work out.
Main entry points.
Like I was
The port
doing
of
coke. I
Antwerp
gotta get back on
in
that.
Belgium is widely considered Europe's biggest drug gateway, followed by Rotterdam in the Netherlands. But Hamburg, Germany's biggest port, is quickly catching up. These
Bro,
German
Germany
customs
loves their coke,
officers
huh?
are desperately trying to find a few kilos of coke hidden somewhere inside a giant cargo ship. But even if they do find the stash, it'll barely put a dent in the avalanche of illegal drugs moving across borders. In 2004, German authorities seized just under a ton of cocaine. By 2024, that number had jumped to over 40 tons. This is in line.
Plot twist, the German authorities are just way more addicted to coke now. They're just seizing more to feed their ever-growing habit of everyone on the force.
2024, that number had jumped to over 40 tons. This is in line with a
Nah,
Europe-wide
Hitler
trend.
was chiefing that
In
shit.
2023, a total of 419 tons of
chief
cocaine were
coke.
seized,
And then
marking the
also-
7th consecutive annual high.
Tatsächlich stellen wir und die Polizei auch fest, dass egal wie viel
timing is
Kokain
not-
wir sicherstellen, das hat keine Auswirkung auf den Straßenverkaufspreis oder auf die da zur Verfügung stehende Menge. Also das tatsächlich, es ist unbeschreiblich viel.
And along with this white powder moving into Europe comes another harmful phenomenon: violence.
Yikes.
This is a street in the heart of Amsterdam, filled with bars and restaurants. It's July 2021, just before 7:30 p.m. A man in a light-colored suit walks down the street, eyes fixed on his phone.
Okay, that's very
His
normal.
name is Peter de Vries. He's one of the Netherlands' most famous crime reporters, a familiar face on TV when it comes to the mafia or organized crime.
Okay.
Right now, he's investigating a Moroccan group known as the Mokro Mafia, another organization heavily involved in cocaine trafficking.
Okay.
De Vries is advising the key witness in a major trial. Shortly after the case began, the witness's brother and lawyer were both murdered.
Jesus Christ!
De Vries has just left a TV studio. He's heading to a parking garage to get his car.
Oh, he's not dead.
Seconds after he walks down the street, he's followed by a police car. After the car passes around the corner, 5 shots are fired.
From the cop car?
De Vries is hit several times, at least once in the head. It's a targeted killing. He's rushed to the hospital in critical condition and dies 9 days later.
Jesus
A
Christ.
man who stood for justice. That is exactly what is so unacceptable. That is horrible injustice happened to him.
This is our UN lead now.
In
Mark
2024, 3 men are sentenced to up to 28 years in prison for his murder.
Berichten zufolge ließ ihn der angeklagte mutmaßliche Mafiaboss auf eine Todesliste setzen.
Organized crime long ago gained a foothold in Europe's major cities. In 2016, a
Jesus.
severed head was found outside an Amsterdam cafe alleged to be a hangout for drug dealers. In Sweden, gang and drug-related violence has been claiming more and more lives in recent years.
And you wonder why fucking Aiden's moving there. Interesting. This is unconfirmed, but Aiden's been doing a lot more coke lately. And suddenly, interesting. He's always taking weird calls, people overseas. He told me he had connections to the Venezuelan government because of Mario Kart. Mario Kart, Aiden? Yeah, I'm sure it's Mario Kart, bro. That's where you get all your connections?
In some cases, even teenagers were recruited as hitmen. In 2024, several explosions and shootings in the German city of Cologne were linked to drug-related gang violence. According to the European Monitoring Center for Drugs and
Hitman,
Drug
they've been flying
Addiction,
around?
violence and homicide are major manifestations of the illegal drug trade. A Dutch research team found that these killings are often acts of compensation for failure to pay for or deliver drugs. Other attacks are meant to intimidate rivals or assert a certain position in the scene. It's actually a lot like it is in the movies. Cocaine represents deadly narcissism and toxic masculinity, but also power and wealth in general, luxury and excess, the ultimate fantasy of defiance and freedom. That
Okay.
image still seems to appeal to a lot of people, and not all of them are criminals. 3:52 a.m. Linda's moved on to an after party. Tony's shift is almost over. Marco's hopefully done
One
too.
more bump?
Nick is still playing World of Warcraft. Lars and Max have already called it a night. A new day begins.
Depending on how the stuff was cut, I
This whole
sometimes
fucking video's been on a journey, and Nick the entire time is just playing WoW. High as a kite.
end up with a bloody nose.
He's
and a
locked
bit of
in,
a
bro.
headache.
I actually regret it the next day, like always. And I keep regretting it for a few days after too, because I feel sluggish. My nose hurts. Everything kind of tastes like Coke. Life just feels a bit dull, with less drive and less joy.
Won't it be better instead of drug dealers, the government selling drugs to fund themselves, reduce drug usage, and because drug dealers are kind of like the lottery? Here's the problem, okay? This is why it's a difficult question. Is if something like cocaine is legal, the odds are the number of people using cocaine will go up dramatically, not down. It goes up. So, like for example, with sports gambling, you'll start seeing cocaine ads all over TV. You'll see Coke everywhere. There'll be Coke on the corner of your fucking grocery store. It'll be Coke all over. And people will get into it and they'll make it seem cool and they'll have flashy advertisements and you'll end up with a much larger percentage of the population addicted to Coke. So that's a balance you got to figure out because that's as societal consequences. Kevin Hart will tell you to do Coke. Within frame one. The day it's legalized, Kevin Hart will have a Kevin Hart brand Coke and he will be on TV doing 14 ads for it. Okay? So you gotta listen, I think people said a lot of these arguments before sports gambling is what's convinced me sort of the other side, which is that there's certain things that I think should be illegal and you have to balance the cost of an endless war. But the truth is that sports gambling being legalized has been a net negative for society. Like the number of young people in Gamblers Anonymous has skyrocketed. The number of people financially ruined, suicides related, it's all up. So it's like, the idea that people will just figure it out, I think is not true because it exploits a weakness in the human brain. You need to make it economically unviable to produce. What you really need to do is find a way to get people to not want it. That's the God's honest truth, bro. That's the only solution. That's the only real total solution is that people say impossible. We did do it with smoking. The demand for smoking went down. People didn't want the cigarettes as much. Whether it's stigmatizing it, I don't know what, but you know what we should do? People say create something better. I think we could reduce Coke usage by inventing the Riot MMO. If we release an addictive enough MMO, we can stop people from having time to go outside to buy addictive drugs. Clean cocaine.
Tatsächlich auch so, dass nach dem Konsum einige Leute von Depressionen berichten, von schlechter Stimmung, von Trübsinn, ne, von Antriebslosigkeit. Also das ist natürlich von Mensch zu Mensch verschieden, aber das ist tatsächlich relativ häufig, dass sowas berichtet wird. Und das kann schon auch mal 2 Tage dauern.
That's why long breaks between doses are so important, because for those who use too much too often, the side effects can hit hard. Many heavy users experience heart palpitations. Extreme cases can lead to full-on heart attacks. Some people get paranoid because they feel like something's crawling under their skin, as if they had insects inside their body.
Ugh.
Over time, Lars's cocaine use has spiraled out of control. He cut off contact with his family and friends and ignored their calls. At some point, his roommate felt obliged to call his parents. They cried on the phone when he broke it to them. Lars is seriously addicted to coke. He really needs your help.
My help? I don't know. I want to make it for Lars.
Today, they're picking him up from rehab. They're in tears again, but this time it's tears of joy. Lars has been clean for 6 weeks, and he's determined to keep it that way.
What about Nick?
Max has also...
Is he still playing WoW? 6 weeks later. Has anyone checked on Nick? He's just playing WoW the whole time?
Pulled the plug.
For me, it was about money, health, and having to constantly hide it from my family.
He got
my
gladiated.
friends and my partner. It got too exhausting. All of that just to get through the day.
Max has been off cocaine for 3 months now, but fighting addiction is anything but easy. It's the psychological addiction that's so hard to overcome, and that's often much tougher to beat than anything physical. It's hard to capture addictiveness in a single chart, but researchers have spent years mapping and comparing psychological and social harm across substances.
Steroids are
Cocaine
addictive?
consistently ranks among the most addictive drugs, legal or illegal. When it's smoked as crack, it even tops the list. Getting off the drug means constantly fighting that little voice in your head, that voice that keeps whispering, you can't make it through a long party night without coke. You can't do your job at the door unless you're high. Gaming is only fun when you're wired.
At some point, I was using every day. That dopamine hit is actually pretty wild when you're gaming. But then I cut back and realized I couldn't really enjoy it anymore without coke.
Bei Kokain sehe ich einfach das große Risiko, also dass man eben denkt, man hat das Konsumverhalten noch unter Kontrolle und merkt gar nicht, wie es immer mehr wird.
In every new round of World of Warcraft, Nicholas has to remind himself that he doesn't actually need coke to enjoy the game. He's been staying clear of the white powder for months now.
Okay, but he's still on WoW, so...
Es gibt bestimmte körperliche Voraussetzungen, bei denen man definitiv kein Kokain nehmen sollte, weil es einfach dann zu gefährlich ist für den Körper.
PvP.
That's why it's so important to have people like Heike Zurhold doing the work she does, researching, informing, and helping people find a way out before it's too late. Cocaine might seem harmless for some, a boost at work, a party pick-me-up, a quick confidence fix, or an escape from everyday stress. But the illusion of control is part of the trap. Over time, tolerance builds, addiction creeps in, and the risks pile up. Heart problems, paranoia.
So I will say, I did a Christmas Big A video where I talked about the Harvard happiness study, the Gantt study. And I talked about how human relationships are like the #1 predictor of happiness, yada, yada, yada. But I didn't mention the downside. They said the #1 predictor of unhappiness, of like failed marriage, life blown off track, was alcoholism and addiction in general. But they mentioned alcoholism, which is like once you get dependent on a substance like alcohol, and I assume for cocaine, it was the #1 predictor of like becoming estranged from those around you, from whatever. People regretted it the most of anything. #2 was League of Legends. Yeah, and it like destroys your body. Destroys, it was pretty bad.
Anxiety, and serious damage to mental health. Cocaine doesn't make life bigger. It slowly takes it apart. For people dealing with depression, ADHD, or emotional struggles, it can be even more dangerous. The post-high crashes can deepen the lows, feed addiction, and even push people towards self-harm. Real help doesn't come from a substance. It comes from connection, from talking to someone, from getting help. So if you're struggling,
is this video considered vibe terrorism?
Talk to a friend, a therapist.
I mean, it would be crazy to pull out your phone and play a 37-minute video on coke if someone's at a party trying to do a line. No, watch this. Watch this. I know it makes it seem cool at the beginning, but wait till the end.
A hotline, anyone you trust. And if you know someone who might need to hear this, send them this video. We need to talk about cocaine. We need to talk to each other.
I mean, yeah, good video. I appreciated that. Interesting. Definitely, I think I mentioned this before, but it just does, cocaine or not, it's like dopamine addiction in some form, whether it's, I don't know, whether it's junk food or video games or phone or scrolling or drugs or a whoosh in chat, dude. I feel like everyone, the dopamine part of our brain is like the weakest part of our brain, the most easy to hack, and like everything is figured out how to exploit it for money. The whoosh epidemic is the quiet killer. Whoosh me one more time, please. Feels like when I got the whoosh. I could really use a whoosh right now. Whoosh right now. Whoosh right. Let me tell you something. If you guys think getting a whoosh is incredible, try gifting a sub. The high you get is it's a rush like you wouldn't believe, dude. Gifting a sub, it's crazy. That and it's clean too. It's like clean coal. All right, chat. I have to prep for my thing tomorrow. I just wanted to jump in and say hi to you and keep up a little bit of streaming. Thanks for watching. Much love. Just wanted to stop in, say hi. You know, give a check in. I'm gonna watch Ari play Expedition 33, but I'm also gonna work on my predictions for tomorrow, which I'm recording for Lemonade Stand. 07. Oh, thank you for the gifties, by the way. I should thank them if I'm gonna fucking make a whole thing out of it. 6 spot, thank you for the gifty. Captain Q, thank you for the gifty. J2 good, thank you for the prime. Great, and thank you for the 2 gifties. By God, the rush. 07 Soldier, have a great night. See you soon. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Adios.